Hey everyone, I'm Nathan Shane Miller, and I want to lay out the vision for a mission and ministry that I feel called in and that I believe is critical for the church in the 21st century. We see the effects of the culture all around us. We feel it, we sense it. Undeniably, the culture has tremendous power in shaping and influencing the human heart, which means that the culture is a key contributor to the condition of the soil in which the gospel seed is planted. So the culture can be more or less conducive and receptive to the gospel. And one of the most influential drivers of the culture is media. It is art and entertainment, and we've seen the way that art and entertainment have been effectively used to change hearts and minds by influencing the culture. Subtle and not so subtle messages, themes, and worldviews that are antithetical to Christianity have purposefully and intentionally been promulgated through the culture for decades, and it's worked. It has hardened the hearts of our fellow man against Christianity. But the same tools that were utilized against Christianity can be used to shape and influence the culture toward Christianity if the church meaningfully engages in the culture, and we have an opportunity to lead on this. Our foray into this is through ATC Productions, a production house that creates content to appropriate the culture for Christ, and we're beginning that with feature film development. Now you might be thinking, well wait, don't we already have Christian film production houses? Yes, but the difference here is one of mission. Christian film productions produce Christian films for Christian audiences. All of the story choices, the casting, the marketing, the distribution plan are tailored to the sensibilities and sensitivities of a Christian audience. It's alternative media, subculture art for a subculture. It's safe, exclusively family-oriented, positive Christian messaging for Christian audiences. It's preaching to the choir, which is fine. There's a place for that. The choir needs to be preached to as well. But that is not what I see as the primary mission for this endeavor. Our projects are not going to be tailored to the sensitivities or sensibilities of Christians because that's not the audience we need to reach. These are Christian films for non-Christians. It's going to be tailored to them. It's going to speak their language, and it's going to subtly influence them towards a Christian worldview through the power of storytelling. And it is powerful. When it comes to persuasion, you can try the head-on approach. But often, and I dare say increasingly, when people come into contact with ideas and worldviews that are different from theirs, they tend to become defensive. A wall goes up, the shields come out, but a story can slip in. Why do we cry at movies? Why do we get scared during movies? Why do we get a rush of excitement or adrenaline? Why are we inspired and transfixed? We know it's not real. Intellectually, we know those are just actors, this is all fake, this is all pretend. And yet, it still affects us. Why? It's because we're empathizing. That's what we come to the theater to do, to empathize. We're putting ourselves in someone else's shoes. We're walking around a bit in someone else's worldview. And the more that we're exposed to someone else's worldview and empathize with it, the more open we will be to it, and the more receptive we will be. And that is how we can effectively change hearts and minds. That's the motive. Now let's talk means. How do we do this? Well, I think it's best to characterize it as a private venture with church partnership. It's going to be important to have demarcation between the church and our projects in order to ensure that there's not missional drift. Again, we're talking about Christian films for non-Christians, but church-produced films are naturally pulled to produce films for churches. Every single church-produced film is, or inevitably becomes, a Christian film for Christian audiences. That's not our mission. But for this to be successful, I think church partnership is going to be necessary, and for the same reason, which is to ensure that there's not missional drift. A private venture without church partnership reduces it to a business and not a ministry. And if it's just a business, the easiest way to recoup investment is to cater to a built-in established audience. Merely a private venture will be pulled to produce Christian films for Christian audiences because that's the best way for Christian films to make money. But that's not our mission. So ATC Productions is its own nonprofit. It is a private venture with church partnership that gives us freedom and liberty to produce the content for non-Christian audiences while holding to our missional goals. Now we realize that there are all kinds of wonderful Christian charities and organizations, and this is a nonprofit with very nebulous metrics. To change the culture is going to require a long, faithful journey, and it won't always be clear at how successful it is. It's not so simple as just counting the number of conversions or baptisms or number of houses built or the number of people fed. But just because it's hard to quantify doesn't mean it's not important. And I think we've done ourselves a tremendous disservice as Christians by not engaging with the culture and ceding art and entertainment to Christian antagonists. It's time to fight back. But the culture is not going to change just through one film. We need a constant barrage of Christian ideas and Christian notions and Christian worldviews flowing into the marketplace. We need a long and faithful journey with a support structure to sustain that. To that end, we're looking for very broad support comprised of small donations. Now, if you want to make a big donation, we're not going to turn that down. But we think our best chance for longevity is not to be onerous, but broad. All we're looking for is $10. Just $10 a month. Can you do $10? Is the culture worth $10 to you? If you agree with this mission, please sign up with us. Become a partner with us and help appropriate the culture for Christ. This is a ministry that I feel uniquely called to and uniquely gifted for. My entire life has been an intersection of art and theology, of entertainment and philosophy. I grew up on the mission field making movies on home videos. My bachelor's degree is in film with a minor in biblical studies. I'm an ordained pastor whose title is the pastor of preaching and media. I think God has equipped me for this ministry my whole life, and I am stepping out in faith, trusting that it will bear fruit. And I'm asking you to join me in this. So go to atcfilms.com and sign up today, donate, become a partner with us, and help us appropriate the culture.